Hey yo guys, what is up? MTG is back in another video. In today's video, we are talking about what is new and crazy with Core Set 2020. So some of the craziest cards in the set, in my opinion, of course. If there's anything I leave out, make sure to leave a comment down below. I want to know what you guys think as well. And yeah, so let's hop right into this. But before we do, I just want to say I am still sick, but I'm getting a little bit better. You might be able to tell. Let's go ahead and hop right into this. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, and as we're going through these, there should be pictures up on the screen right around here, so you'll be able to know what I'm talking about. I will be looking down a lot. That is because I'm looking at my iPad to look at all the spoilers. So, one thing I want to talk about here is Digger's Cage is being reprinted, which is insane. So, right now, Digger's Cage is going for roughly a $6. Well, right now it's $8, but it was $6, so it's actually gone up. But Digger's Cage, it's a commander, pretty much commander staple, so it's pretty surprising that they reprinted it. I'm not too surprised, but it's pretty good that they left it as rare. I'll read it off to you guys. Digger's Cage is a 1-drop artifact. Creature cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from their graveyards or libraries. So that's a great commander card. And yeah, it's a good reprint and a very strong one at that. They also, I know this isn't a big thing, but I think it's funny that they've reprinted it so many times recently. They reprinted Shock. Shock is a one red. Shock deals damage to any target. I just think it's funny that they keep reprinting it. Maybe that's just me. Definitely not the most powerful card, but still, I thought it was funny. Scheming Symmetry. I think this is also a pretty powerful one. 1 black. Choose 2 target players. Each of them searches their library for a card, then shuffles their library and puts that card on top of it. Almost like a Vampiric Tutor, which I'll pop up over here. Scheming is actually good in 2-headed giant or stuff like that you might have like teammate, or you can have some crazy commander politics with it. And then Vampiric Tutor, you can see, is pretty much just the same thing. That card's going to be pretty good and pretty high in value. Rotting Regisaur, 2 and a black, 7/6. At the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. Now, I think this one is crazy because it's a 7/6 3-drop. But at the beginning of your upkeep, you do have to discard a card. But let's be real, that's not a huge price to pay for a 7/6 that could win you the game. Plus, it doesn't say if you can't sacrifice it. If you can't discard a card, it's still around. Like, you're just... Or if you... Yeah, it's craziness. I don't understand, really. You don't have to sacrifice it. It stays around. This thing's going to be crazy and limited, and it's definitely going to be crazy and standard, too. I'm sure we'll see some decks with it. Yeah, that card is craziness, if you ask me. Something that's got a little bit of hype lately. Blood-Soaked Altar. 4 and 2 black. Tap it to pay 2 life. It's an artifact. Tap it to pay 2 life. Discard a card, sacrifice a creature. Create a 5/5 demon creature token with flying. Activate this ability only at the time that you could cast a sorcery. I think this is pretty good. It's making 5/5 demons for you. It's probably going to be seen in Commander, just because that trigger, the sacrifice and stuff, isn't that much of a loss to a lot of people in Commander. Villa's Broker of Blood. 5 colorless and 3 black. 8/8 flying legendary creature demon. This thing is insane. 1 black, pay 2 life. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, which isn't that crazy. But whenever you lose life, draw that many cards. That is insane. That you won't see that in many places other than Commander. Maybe Limited, but that cost is way too much for Limited. So I'd say Commander. Though this is going to be an insane card because everyone's just going to be drawing so many cards that, like, oh my god, it's a crazy card if you ask me. Let me know your opinions down below. I almost could say in Commander, I could see a situation or multiple where you could actually mill yourself out by having this, just because Commander lasts so long that, like, it's 100% possible. All the ley lines are pretty good. Some more powerful than others, but I'm going to read over all of them here. Leyline of Sanctity, I don't exactly know how to say this one. 2 and 2 white. Enchantment, if it is in your opening hand, this goes for all of them. You can start with it on the battlefield. You have Hexproof. That's a reprint. It's crazy. Next, Leyline of Anticipation, also a reprint. 2 and 2 blue. You can start with it on the battlefield. You may cast spells as though they had flash. Essentially a Vidalcan Ori, if you're playing blue. Like, that's crazy. If you don't know what Vidalcan Ori, I'll also pop that up. It's an artifact that lets you play all your spells as though they had flash. So it's basically Vidalcan Ori as a blue card. Leyline of the Void, another crazy reprint here. 2 and 2 black. You can start with it on the battlefield. If a card would be put into a opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile instead. This card was like $60 until this reprint. $50 though as a rare. This is a rare. Keep that in mind. So yeah, this is a crazy card. There's gonna be some crazy value if you can pull one of these out of a pack. Plus, it's only rare. Like, that's insane. Now the other two are not reprints that I'm aware of. Leyline of Combustion, 2 and 2 red. Start with it on the battlefield. Whenever you or at least one other permanent you control becomes the target of spell or an ability opponent controls, Leyline of Combustion deals 2 damage to that player. So not as crazy as the other ones. And the green one also isn't that great. You can start with it on the battlefield. Whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green. 6 and 2 green. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So, again, not as crazy as the other ones. So all of the Elemental Knights are pretty good. I'm not going to read over all of those. You can go check those out on your own. They're pretty good, though. So, and then we'll just go over all the Planeswalkers here, because these things are also pretty good in the right situations. And then that'll do it. A Johnny, Strength of the Pride, 2 and 2 white, 5 loyalty, +1. You gain life equal to the number of creatures you control, plus the number of Planeswalkers you control. -2, create a 2/2 white cat soldier creature token named a Johnny's Pride Mate. With whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on a Johnny's Pride Mate. Crazy. I love this card. It's insane. You're just making a Johnny's Pride Mate. And for 0, if you have at least 15 more life than your starting life total, exile Johnny's Strength of the Pride, and each artifact and creature your opponents control. So, craziness. Next up, Muyan Ling, Sky Dancer, 1 and 2 blue, 2 loyalty counters. This is why I'm not sure about this one, just because it's a 3-drop for 2 loyalty counters. Nonetheless, it is quite a strong card. +2, until end of turn, up to 1 target creature gets -2, -0, and loses flying. -3, create a 4/4 blue elemental bird creature token with flying. -8, you get an emblem with islands. Islands you control have tap it to draw a card. Next up, Sorin the Vampire Lord is what it should say, because apparently that's all he cares about in this context, which I'm not 100%. I don't 100% agree with. He shouldn't care about vampires, but whatever. Sorin Imperious Bloodlord, 2 in a black, 4 loyalty counters, +1. Target creature you control gains Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. If it's a vampire, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Also, +1, you may sacrifice a vampire. When you do, Sorin Imperious Bloodlord deals 3 damage to any target. You gain 3 life. -3, you may put a vampire creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. So that could get out of hand quickly. 2 more here. We have Chandra Awakened Inferno, 4 and 2 red, 6 loyalty. This spell can't be countered. +2, each opponent gets an emblem with, at the beginning of your upkeep, this emblem deals 1 damage to you. That gets out of hand quickly. -3, Chandra Awakened Inferno deals 3 damage to each non-elemental creature. -X, Chandra Awakened Inferno deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. If the permanent dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile instead. Finally, we have Vivian Arcbow Ranger, 1 and 3 green, 4 loyalty counters, +1, distribute 2 +1/+1 counters among up to 2 target creatures. They gain trample until end of turn. -3, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. -5, you may choose a creature card you own from outside the game, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Another crazy planeswalker there. So that is going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please drop a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you want to help support the channel, check out the links below. One is to my Patreon, one is to my merch. So the best way to support the channel, if you want something back for yourself, is to check out that merch link. And that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, like I said, please drop a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.